right. Ron?
All right, I'd like to go ahead and welcome you guys to the Tuesday, June 20th, 2023 Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting. If you would, please rise. We'll start the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item will be the consent agenda.
We have the regular meeting minutes from June 6, 2023, the special meeting minutes from June 13th, 2023, work session minutes from June 13th regarding budget, and liquor license renewal for 2023-2024 in the amount of $1,050.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
Second.
Yeah, I know. Who'd we go with first one? Because like 3 people. Okay, we'll do this. Motion made by Alderman Corder, second by Alderman Cullum. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be public comments. If you'd like to say something to the Board of Aldermen, we invite you to the podium. Please state your name. We'll give you 5 minutes to speak.
Good evening. I'm Jane Kelly. I'm with Warren County Fragile and Homeless. I'd like to report that our homeless numbers are better. Lincoln County beat us this time, so we're under them. Last month, I brought in a flyer, and I asked that you disseminate that or distribute that, and I'd just like a follow-up on the progress. Or did the board decide to not share that public information?
We got it out there.
Oh, it's been disseminated.
To who?
All the businesses.
Didn't it go?
I checked area businesses, I checked around, and I...
Talking about your flyers? Mm-hmm. We only did it in the city. So we gave them to our police officers to hand out, and we put them in our lobby, and we give them to our front clerks to hand out.
So you decided to not do the businesses. Most of the people are going...
Don't hand them out to the businesses.
We don't have time.
We're not doing that.
Policemen
Didn't have time.
do not
Okay.
have time.
Well, I
to do
just
those
appreciate
things.
that follow-up. I'm glad that you did, you put it in your lobby. Let's see. 3 meetings ago, I had requested if you could ask, I believe you were going to ask your attorney if it was possible to have a tiny piece of land for homeless that would be temporary emergency use for sheltering, for them to be able to park there or be there. Can I get a follow-up on that?
I also think we also stated last time, I think we were going to try and have a workshop meeting, and I know we haven't had that yet.
Okay.
That was one thing we were going to keep you posted on whenever we did schedule one in. I don't even think we've, honestly, I mean, just to be truthful and transparent, I don't think we've even talked about scheduling that meeting yet. But I do know we are going to include you in on the workshop meeting when we do have that, to be able to kind of talk about the logistics behind that. Because I know there were some questions you had that I know I couldn't answer. And I don't think any of us could really answer on some of that. So I don't have any answers yet on that, but I've got it down.
Okay.
To make sure that
I
we
just have-
schedule a date.
I just have one last thing. It came to my knowledge last week. I didn't realize that this was going on, and I think you can help with this, maybe not. I did not know that our prosecuting attorney, when people are homeless and then they get charged with trespassing and they get fined and they go to court, all of that, I didn't know that when we finally get them out of here, that if they didn't come to court and pay their fines, they're being extradited back to Warrenton. So I got a half a dozen of them now, and I said, I'm just trying to, so I called the prosecutor's office. I'm not allowed to talk to that prosecutor, but they suggested that I present that to you and make sure that you know that that goes on, because now they're back here and they're homeless again. And it's just the same mess. I'm talking years of getting them to different places, and they're going a long way to get them too. It's not like it's just 30 minutes. If you would be in agreement that that isn't maybe the best thing for our homeless or for our community, and maybe you could talk to the chief of police, and maybe the chief of police could talk to the prosecutor. I'm not allowed to do that, and I'm not really sure how it goes with all the elected officials and all of that, but I didn't even realize how many and how often this happens until I just figured it out last week. Why are you here? They went, how many hours to get you to bring you back because you were trespassed, because you were homeless? So, that's all. Thank you.
Well, to answer that real quick, if you don't mind, that way,
Yeah.
I think that's something we can actually probably put on the agenda to be able to speak to on that workshop, because we can request for our prosecuting attorney to be present, and we can discuss that in an open workshop.
Okay. That'd be great.
Okay?
Great.
Sorry. All right. Anyone else? Not seeing anybody, we'll move on. Next will be Board of Alderman comments.
I just want to say thanks to the community. I'm sure everybody heard about the church that caught fire and burned down, Abundant Life. I heard lots of businesses donated wheelbarrows, shovels, food. People came and helped clean up. So I just want to say thanks to everybody. It's good to have a good community that came together and helped people in need. So thanks to everybody that was able to donate time, effort, money, etc.
Anyone else? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up one topic before we move on to my approvals. A long-term prosecuting attorney passed away that was here for the city of Warrenton. His name is Daryl Hicks. I think it's notable that we should recognize that due to the fact that he was here for years. Service to the city for years as a prosecuting attorney. So just prayers and best wishes are with his family. Looking for a reappointment of Jacob Brown, Kelly Madden, and Cheryl Dyer to the Park Board for a 3-year term. Entertain a motion to reappoint the reappointment of Jacob Brown, Kelly Madden, and Cheryl Dyer to the Park Board for a 3-year term.
Move. Second.
Motion made by, I'm sorry, who was it first?
Miller?
Okay, motion made by Alderman Miller, second by Alderman Schultz. A vote?
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be the request for road closures on July 2nd for the Warren County Fair Parade. Mr. Ellenby, if you'd like to come forward, you can. If not, I think it's pretty cut and dry. Same thing as every year, and I guess the only thing would be if anybody had any questions. Anybody have any questions?
Oh.
Nope.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the road closure for July 2nd for the Warren County Fair Parade.
So move.
Second.
I'm going to go with
Quarter.
Quarter. Motion made by Alderman Quarter, second by Alderman Romaker. Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next is request for exemption for the time constraint on loud noise for the Warren County Fair. I believe we have, I'm not trying to single you out, but I believe we have one new alderman here. This is something they ask for every year, just for an exemption. We go past 11, 12, I think it's 12, isn't it? Usually just asking for that for the neighbors. Neighbors have never really come in and complained. In fact, they say it's fine with them usually, so. I'll entertain a motion to approve the request for the exemption for time constraint for loud noise for the Warren County Fair.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump. I'm going to go with seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next, we'll have the renewal for the Agape Service Contract. I'm sure you'd like to come up and speak, Michelle. I'll let you introduce yourself and we'll listen.
Hi, everyone. I think you guys all know me. My name is Michelle Bernth. I'm the Executive Director at Agape. I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you guys again tonight, to share a little bit about what's been going on with us, and obviously to ask for a renewal of the service contract. And we're going to... Okay. So the mission of Agape is fighting hunger and preventing homelessness. Obviously, our organization has been around for 26 years, so we've been working cooperatively with all of the people and the city governments in this county for 26 years. So, and we do that. Our vision is to eliminate hunger and homelessness in this county, and we serve low-income individuals and families here in Warren County. We do serve the entire county. And so our foundational program that we offer is our Client Choice Food Pantry that is located at our new facility. I talked to you guys about that last year when I was here. So we've been working out of that new building for, I feel like my life is passing me by, 3 years now. And so that's where clients come to shop for their own food. That's what a Client Choice Food Pantry is. So our families come in, they shop for their own food. We offer dry goods, we offer fresh produce, we offer dairy, we offer frozen meat, and we also offer personal care items through that food pantry. We have a number of other programs that we offer. Those are things like JobStar, which is our job training program that we offer. That's a paid experience job training program. So people come into that program, they work for us for 500 paid hours, either at the food pantry location or at our thrift store location. They get job skills that they need, both hard job skills and then also soft skills that are necessary to be successful in the workplace. When they leave that program, we help them transition into the workforce. We've had a really high success rate with people transitioning out of that program into the workforce, so we feel really good about that program. The mobile food pantry, I'm going to actually come back to that in a minute. And then SAFE, that's our Shelter Assistance for Families and Emergencies program, which does deal with families that are facing homelessness. We also have a number of services that we offer throughout the year. The CSFP is a federal program that's extra supplementary food for seniors. So we do run that program here for Warren County. Our Share Christmas, Share Holiday program, we provide Christmas gifts to over 1,000 local kids here in Warren County every year. We have our Back to School Bash, which is free school supplies for kids. We provide school supplies to about 850 kids every year in partnership with Faith Christian Family Church. No Hunger Holiday is the Thanksgiving program that we do in cooperation with Knights of Columbus. That program is done all throughout St. Louis. We happen to be the agency that runs it here in this county. And then food fairs are those big food distribution events that the St. Louis Area Food Bank brings out, like 24 pallets of food. We do a big food distribution. We've done it at the fairgrounds the last several times. So that's what that is. We have continued to see over the last several years an increase in new families that we're serving. So you can see that the yellowy orange there, well, I should have made it not both orange colors, right? That would be helpful. The yellow is families and the darker orange is new individuals. So you can see those numbers are going up, and we'll kind of come back to why that's important in a little bit. But as you can see, those numbers continue to rise every single year. So we're serving more and more families, more and more individuals every single year. And that's important to note. So obviously I'm not going to belabor kind of what Jane was getting at, but there is a homelessness issue here in Warren County. So out of our families that we serve, about 94% of them have housing, and about 6% of them do not have housing. And before you're like, well, 6% isn't that bad, right? It's 272 families that we're serving that don't have a safe and stable place to live. So it is a sizable number, and it continues to be an issue. We approach it a little differently, but it is an issue that the community needs to look at. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about the ARPA funding. Some of you may have heard that we were awarded a large-scale grant. Alderman Cullum, thank you for your help with that. We appreciate it. So we were awarded this grant. It is a 3-year grant. For any of you who have ever had anything to do with federal grants, you will know that it is very specific about what you can and cannot do with the money. You have to be very explicit about what you will use the money for up front. And so I just want to clarify what it is and isn't for. So it's for three things. The first is food pantry infrastructure expansion. So one of the issues we have at our location now is that it's difficult for large semi-trucks to access our facility. There's a couple of reasons for that I won't get down into the weeds about, but it makes it difficult for semi-truck drivers who need to find a place to donate their food. So what happens is they have a shipment of food that's going to a grocery store, or it's going to Gateway, and it gets refused. It can get refused for all kinds of reasons. The label's on upside down, it's not the product they ordered, it's more than the amount that they ordered, all kinds of things, right? And so what the driver is told that they have to find a place to donate that before they can go on to their next job. And so they all know, all of the dispatchers know that they can contact us and that we will take as much of it as we possibly can. We do run into issues, though, where the truck drivers are not able to access the building depending on the kind of truck that they have. So some of this money will go to making it more accessible so that we can take bigger food donations and more food donations. The second thing it will fund is the creation of a mobile food pantry. So this will be the first mobile food pantry in this county. And we'll talk a little more specifically about what that's going to mean. And then the third is housing assistance, like we said. So one of the key ways to help with the homelessness problem is to keep families in their homes. It is much easier to keep a family in their home than it is to rehouse them once they've lost that housing. And so that housing assistance will go to trying to keep families in their safe and stable houses that they have already. So when we look at the mobile food pantry, what this is going to do is we're going to have a set schedule of locations and times throughout the county where the mobile food pantry will go, so people will be really clear about how to access this. It will serve all of Warren County and some neighboring areas that we know there are people who are having difficulty accessing food resources. Like Bellflower, for instance, is a community that we know there's a lot of people are having a lot of difficulty accessing resources. We will provide fresh, frozen, dry goods, all of those things that we provide out of our brick and mortar food pantry, out of the mobile food pantry. It won't be a choice setup, it will be pre-packed. And we will provide TFAP food, which, as a reminder, that's the Emergency Food Assistance Program out of the USDA, and that food all comes to us, so it will be distributed through the mobile food pantry as well. And the key here is to target clients who have transportation barriers, clients who are disabled, and clients who are elderly and not able to come to the food pantry. So we continuously get requests to deliver food, which is not something that we do on the regular. And so we know there's a need for this, and so we're excited that we'll have this funding to be able to help fulfill that need. So a little bit about who we serve. 27% of City of Warrenton residents receive services from us. And out of our entire client population, 53% of them come from the City of Warrenton. You can see we have our food pantry hours up there. We are open 3 days a week, 9 to 2, for the brick and mortar food pantry. So I showed you guys this chart the last time I was here last year. So as a reminder, for the past 3 years, we entered into an agreement with the city that we would not ask for an increase in the service contract because of our ongoing negotiations around the building. And so I shared with you guys that broke down to $8.39 per person at that time, and that $91 is the amount we spend to provide that food to eat per person, and that the value of the food that we provide per person is, we're going to round there, $560 per person. So if we use those numbers to kind of talk about going forward, again, in 2022, the service contract was in the amount of $20,000. We were servicing 2,383 City of Warrenton residents at that time, which per the previous slide broke down to $8.39 per person. If we look forward, or present, to 2023, if we stayed at $20,000, the number of Warrenton residents that we're serving now has gone up. And so the amount per person that support would provide would go down to $6.77 per person. If, however, this year we provided that number of residents at the previously funded per person amount of $8.39, that would come out to $25,000. So I just want to talk you through it so you can see really transparently where that number is coming from. And with that, we respectfully request an increase to $25,000 of the service contract based on that financial data. I'm happy to entertain any questions. I know I went through it kind of fast, but
I have a question on the job star numbers.
Absolutely.
What kind of, numbers are we seeing that you're helping with that are leaving and not returning as far
that are, how do you mean leaving and not
as
returning?
actually going out and getting a qualifying job?
Oh,
that
sure.
they're unable, that they're not coming back as a boomerang?
Sure. So the JobStar program is actually funded through the NAP tax credits that we have. So once again, it's a state program. We apply for these NAP tax credits. We turn around, we sell them to local businesses. They're 70% tax credits. They're a real win for businesses who buy them. That's where the money comes from for that program. And like I said, they get paid for 500 work hours with us. So we have now operated that program for 2 NAP cycles, so 4 years. We've consistently had over a 90% success rate at placing people in workforce jobs. I don't want to say placing people, that's putting a little, we help them transition into workforce jobs. So we've had over 90% of them able to successfully get a job and maintain that job for at least 6 months.
So what's it? What's 90%? 100 people, 50 people?
Oh, sure.
200?
So we have about 40 participants at any given cycle. So we're looking at, oh, you're asking me to do the on-the-fly math. That's rough.
Don't ask me to help you.
I know, right? Like, 60 to 70 people who have gotten workforce
cycle?
jobs. Yes.
Okay.
Do you, is the mobile food pantry already operating?
No, it is not. So with the funding, so we don't, full disclosure, we don't even have this money yet because there's like 90 billion hoops you have to jump through once they tell you you're going to get the money. So we don't even have any of this money yet. We keep getting people calling like, we heard you got a lot of money. We're like, nope. So no, it's not. We need to purchase a refrigerated van, and there's a lot of pieces that we have to put in place. But we hope that it will be in place by early 2024.
And the 27% of Warren County residents they're receiving some sort of assistance, is that correct?
Yes.
And that's the 2952 number. It's just such an incredible number.
It's a really high number.
Is that feasible?
So just so you guys are aware, we have budgeted money for the first 6 months, changing our budget year from July to January to December. And
Okay.
tonight's budget has in there, we have accounted for this increase to do for 6 months, so 12.5 for the first 6 months, and then another 20, we could do the 25 for January to December of 24 in that budget, providing that gets approved in December.
Is that understandable?
Yes. Yes.
So what would we be approving on the renewal for today?
Tonight, it would just be that first 6 months, that 12.5, and then we'll do another contract in closer towards the end of this year, and that'll be for 2024 for the,
For the full 25,000?
as long as it's approved.
So
when
what
budget
we're
comes
doing
through.
to look for tonight is 12.5 until we get to the next budget. I think it's pretty explanatory is if anybody listens to it. And as long as you understand that as well, then.
Understand.
Pretty, okay.
Will you want me to come back then, or will you do it all, like, the approval of that again tonight? Or how do you want that to go?
But we'd have to approve it when we approve the budget in January, or December, I guess.
Tonight, we have an ordinance later on in the agenda for the 6 months.
The budget
For
change.
tonight, yeah,
Okay.
for once we have the budget go through, whether it's approved or not, tonight, for that 6 months. And then we'll do a budget again in December. And that would be for another
mean, if you
contract.
wanna-
Sure.
And then it would start January to December every year.
Right.
I don't think that you would need to come back since it's basically the same thing for another year, so
Okay.
you
It'd
wouldn't
be
need to
something
do
that's
another request.
already wrapped up into the budget, so we
Okay.
would just approve the budget
Yeah.
and
I see her smiling face.
I mean, I'm happy to come back anytime.
so we don't need anything for approval at this point.
Not right now, it'll be
Be in
later on the
bill.
agenda.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Presentation.
Of course.
Very helpful.
Next will be to approve the consumption of intoxicating liquor license for Maggie Grace on Main, located at 111 Boone Slick. Any questions on that? All All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consumption of intoxicating liquor license for Maggie Grace on Main, located at 111 Boone Slick.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Romaker. Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
I'll need to recuse myself on this. I have interest in this business.
This approval will be 5-0 with one abstaining. Next, we'll hear from Finance Officer Dana Belaska.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have before you tonight a budget amendment. It's related to the contract for the additional data conversion with our current software provider, G-Works, to provide the data for the new software provider. So you've already approved the contract. This is just the formality of the budget adjustment that goes along with that. Any questions on the budget adjustment?
So, I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 39-23.
So moved. Second.
Who'd you have for first? Motion was made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Romaker.
An ordinance amending the budget of the City of Warrenton, Missouri for fiscal year 2022-2023.
I'll entertain a motion for second reading of Bill number 39-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Romaker, seconded by Alderman Corber.
An ordinance amending the budget of the City of Warrenton, Missouri for fiscal year 2022-2023.
A vote?
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Second item on the agenda is the budget for the next 6-month fiscal year. So from July of '23 to December of '23. Again, due to the fact that we're going to convert our fiscal year to a calendar fiscal year, we have to do this little short budget here for 6 months. We went into this budget a little more detail the other night at the work session. So just a few highlights. You'll see that sales tax revenue, property tax revenue up about 3%, just mostly related to growth in new housing in the city. You see wages, the net wage change about 3%, kind of a combination there of an increase to the beginning police and labor level positions and a restructure of some of the public works positions. So 2 positions were actually removed from the budget that hadn't been filled in a while. So the net impact of 3% in a wage line. Then on the capital list, we have allocated the remaining funds that we had in the ARPA allocation to the city. So those funds are listed under the capital projects on the use of ARPA. Were there any other questions regarding that budget?
No, but I think it does behoove us every time this comes up to go ahead and say something that there were multitudes of reasons why we decided to go ahead and switch our annual budget and approval times to December and January. Just for one of the bigger reasons, I believe, in my opinion, was we may get a new alderman in April and we're already ready to approve something within the next meeting. And that's not really fair for a new alderman to not kind of get a grasp of what's going on or what we're trying to approve or how we're trying to do things. I'm sure Alderman Romaker could attest that it seems like a whirlwind once you get in of trying to learn things, and throwing a budget and approval time is kind of a hard thing to do. This gives somebody about 6 months to kind of settle in and be able to get used to things. And it's a little easier that way. So that's one of the main priorities. I know I brought it up, but I know there's some other reasons why we also looked into it too, though. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 40-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Romaker.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Romaker.
An ordinance adopting an annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on July 1st, 2023, and appropriating funds pursuant thereto.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 40-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Romaker.
An ordinance adopting an annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on July 1st, 2023, and appropriating funds pursuant thereto.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
And the third thing on the agenda for tonight is utility write-offs. So the board had asked that we make sure we come back each year and provide any accounts that go to a status that we need to ask for a formal write-off. So you'll see in this list that they have gone through an attempted collection process, but either there's a bankruptcy filed or the client has deceased or something at this point. So I'd like to ask for a formal write-off of these accounts.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the utility write-offs in the amount of $633.79.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, second by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. All right, thank you. Next, we'll hear from City Administrator Brandy Walters.
Good evening. The first thing that I have for you tonight is the Warren County R3 agreement. This is something that we do annually to supply the school with security, school resource officers, and crossing guards. They do pay a portion of those. This agreement tonight in front of you is only for that 6-month period. I've spoke with the superintendent there, and we're going to change those agreements to be annually January to December. So this tonight is just for the 6 months. You'll see it again in December for next year.
Questions on that?
No.
I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 41-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Quarter.
An ordinance authorizing execution of agreements between the Warren County R3 School District and the City of Warrenton, Missouri for crossing guards, security services, and resource officers.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 41-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Miller.
An ordinance authorizing execution of agreements between the Warren County R3 School District and the City of Warrenton, Missouri for crossing guards, security services, and resource officers.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
The next thing I have for you is Warren County Council on Aging Agreement. Same thing, 6 months, and you'll see it again in December. This is an annual agreement that we have with them for the meals delivery service for seniors. We reimburse them $1.50 per meal, and that goes up to, we budget up to $11,000. If they reach that $10,000 mark, they have to do an audit, but we rarely get to that point. But we always put that in there just in case.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 42-23.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Schultz.
An ordinance authorizing execution of agreement between Warren County Council on Aging and the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 42-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, seconded by Alderman Cullum.
An ordinance authorizing execution of an agreement between Warren County Council on Aging and the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
I have in front of you the Agape Agreement, which Michelle was just here to present to you, and this would be for that first 6 months of $12,500.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 43-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance authorizing execution of an agreement between Agape Ministry and the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 43-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, seconded by Alderman Miller.
An ordinance authorizing execution of an agreement between Agape Ministry and the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
So this next contract is something that we have discussed 100 times, is for the online bill pay. So for our residents and customers to be able to go online, look at their bills, set up, they would be able to enter into the portal, and they would be able to see history, make payments, all of that. They would also, in this software as well, they would be able to make payments on other things, not just your utility bills. So if maybe a permit or any of those types of things as well. So this is the company, the software that's going to partner with the other software that we're bringing internally. I don't know how to word that better, but for them to partner with BSNA so they can collaborate and get all of that working together at the same time. So everything will go into effect at the same time.
Any ETA on that? If it passes, do you know when that would be up and running?
Towards the end of this year.
So on that, would that do away with the extra fee associated with paying online, or would that still be in there?
There would still be a 3% fee or whatever it is that goes on your credit card. I don't know exactly what that percentage is, so don't quote me on that, but there would still be a fee for using that.
So there would be no way
I don't know
to
if does it use it for everything?
electronically pay right out of your bank? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Is that something, I mean, I know that's something we can look into asking them, I guess, towards when it goes into effect? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, we can ask them. We can ask them any
That way it
questions
would cut
we
away
want,
the
but-
3% is what you're saying, right?
Right, if you paid directly from your bank
Instead of using a
electronically,
cross
Like an auto
member.
bill pay?
Like an ACH,
Right.
like a debit from your bank account.
there shouldn't be a fee associated with that, I wouldn't think.
Is that the way you understand it, Dana?
So you can now push a payment out from your bank. The issue is, right now, they'll print a check and send it to us. So
Yeah.
with this system, it will come as an electronic file, and we will
Yeah.
just load it. And you will not see a fee on your side for that type of a process.
Okay, that's what I was asking, yeah.
Okay.
And keep in mind, you can always set up for automatic payment through the city currently.
That kind of answered the question now?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I was asking, yeah.
All right, any other questions? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 44-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by McCullum, seconded by Romaker.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Invoice Cloud to provide online software.
I'll entertain a motion for second reading of bill number 44-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by McWhorter, seconded by Miller.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Invoice Cloud to provide online software.
Roll call vote?
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
A couple things operationally. Again, we will not be having a meeting on July 4th unless something comes up between now and then. We will resume on July 18th. Cocktails and Conversations with Greater Warren County Economic Development is next Monday, June 26th, and that is from 5 to 6:30. If any of you guys are attending that, please let me know so I can RSVP for you.
Why don't you just take a vote, or take a,
Okay?
how many's going? Going? Next Monday?
Next
Next Monday.
I'll be there.
I think so, yeah.
Be there, Quarter?
Yes.
3, 4. Cocktails and with the Greater Warren.
I have an RSVP, but I can make
Well,
it.
she can RSVP for us.
Yep.
Miller?
No, I don't. I've got another.
So, I guess. How many up there? 1, 2, 3.
Perfect, I'll let them know. The other thing that I have for you tonight is we have found in our code that there is a discrepancy. So currently in zone R1, that's a 3-acre minimum. And in one section of the code, it says that there has to be 125 front lot width. And in another section, it says 70 foot. So when we made all of those changes, I think this was just something that was missed when we took away the R3. I wanted to see if you guys are okay if we change that to the 70 foot like everything else. And the only reason I'm asking is because we have a developer that is interested in doing this, so we don't want to delay them.
So I get that, but I guess asking the attorney, is that something we're going to have to change by vote?
It has to go to P&Z first, I'm sorry.
We're just looking to see if we want to go ahead and send it to P&Z for the process to come through. Okay.
I just want to make sure you guys are okay with it before we
Anybody
go through
oppose
the
it?
P&Z process and go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead and send it.
Okay, perfect. That's all that I have for you tonight.
All right, thank you. Next, we're from Director of Operations, John Struckoff.
Good evening. First item I have for you tonight is the monthly admin report. One big thing to note on there, if you notice how many people we hired last month, we hired 12 people. So the only people we're looking for now is police officers. So if you know anybody that's a police officer, send them our way. But I think everybody else is full now, so it's a good thing. Any questions on that? And I have a couple other notes here. Citywide cleanup we had. I just want to go over the stats on that. It was probably one of the biggest ones we've ever had. We had 175 vehicles go through. We had 3,228 pounds of electronic waste, 179 tires, 13,180 pounds of scrap metal, and 14.38 tons of waste. So it was very well attended, and it was a busy day. So just want to give you guys those numbers. Just out of contrast, when they did their March 23rd and March 30th pickups, Grace did, on the south side they picked up 4.82 tons of waste, and on the north side they picked up 7.75 tons of waste. So between the two, we picked up way more in one day than they did.
Still, I mean, hopefully we're cleaning up the town a little bit on those. I mean, it's quarterly we're doing some type of a cleanup or pickup, so.
Yep. I think it's working. I just wanted to throw those numbers out there. And
oh, I agree. I think it's good for people to hear
For the update, John.
One other update, Fall Festival. We have sold 65 vendor spots already. That leaves us with about 15 left. So, and I'm still getting applications pretty regularly, so that's going really well. And we have one more announcement for another artist coming. Ben Gallagher will be opening for Joe Nichols on the main stage at 6:30. So
Gallagher?
Yeah, Ben Gallagher. They threw out the offer for us and have him open for him. So it's going to be a more entertainment. So
Oh, good.
Party starts at 6:30.
that'll be all day. Well, I mean, the Bushwhack starts at noon. We have Savannah coming at 4. They're playing till 6:30. Ben Gallagher starts at 6:30, and Joe Nichols starts at 7:30. So it's going to be a full day of entertainment.
Excellent.
It's music.
Any other questions on any of that? The next item I have for you is surplus property. City code requires us to bring any surplus property that needs to be destroyed or getting rid of to board approval, and that's what I'm here to give the list. If you have any questions on any of those.
What's a muffin monster?
We just talked about this. We just talked about the new one we had to buy.
against me.
So
grinder?
a muffin monster is basically a sewage grinder. And
Okay.
they put it in a sewer line to grind up all the solid waste before it gets to a pump or something. So we had one that we had in line at the Fairlane lift station, and with all the upgrades we've been doing over the years, it's been taken out and we no longer use it. So it's sitting there.
Can't say I'll be purchasing that.
I have no use for that.
Where are these being sold at? Are they scrapping?
No, most of everything but the file cabinets will be sold on Gov Deals. The file cabinets we're going to go to scrap with after looking at Gov Deals sales prices on file cabinets here recently. It's not really worth our time to put them on Gov Deals.
They
So
probably won't show up to pick them up.
it's not. That's the only thing we're going to scrap. Everything else will be sold on Gov Deals.
Any other questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve to sell the surplus property on Gov Deals.
So moved.
Second.
First one. Motion made by Alderman Crump, second by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next item I have for you tonight is a engineering agreement for a water well and storage tank on the south end of town, location to be determined. This is part of the bonds that we just went out for and got approved by voters. So this is the first step to get the water side going, is to start the engineering so we can do a site selection and get a DNR report and everything. So the design and all that work.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 45-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Motion made by Alderman Miller, second by Alderman Romaker.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for professional services with Gonzalez Companies LLC in the connection with Warrenton New Well and potable water storage improvements.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 45-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, second by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for professional services with Gonzalez Companies LLC in connection with Warrenton New Well and potable water storage improvements.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Next item I have for you is an engineering service agreement for the wastewater treatment plant expansion. Again, this goes back to the passage of the bonds. This is the first step in the expansion of our treatment plant. So this will do the design work, all the engineering work to get that project going.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 46-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Romaker, second by Alderman Quarter.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for professional services with Gonzalez Companies LLC in connection with the wastewater treatment plant improvements, Phase 1.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 46-23.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, second by Alderman Cullum.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for professional services with Gonzalez Companies LLC in connection with the wastewater treatment plant improvements, Phase 1.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
That's all I have. Thank you.
We'll hear,
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Next, we'll hear from Chief of Police Larry Ellard.
Good evening. The only item I have for any agenda tonight is the monthly police report. If there's no questions, I'd like to take the opportunity to give some thanks to some. We just completed our yearly active killer training with the officers from our department, the Sheriff's Department, and Truesdale PD. In doing so, we got a lot of help from some deputies from the Sheriff's Department, the City of Truesdale for providing the facility, etc. Without them, we couldn't have got it done. It was a great training, went off without a hitch. Again next year.
All right, anything else?
Oh, no, sir.
Well, I thank you. Appreciate it. Next, we'll hear from Director of Planning and Development, Tim Burks.
Even Mayor and Board, you have a copy of my May monthly report, a couple of highlights. 1776 Armory LLC opened at 115 East Main. Wolfpack Snacks opened at 204 East Boonslick. Mays Auto changed ownership. Buffer Smoke and Novelties opened at 1339 North Service Road. And Higher Nutrition opened at 102 Cool Avenue last month. Any questions for me?
Have you visited any of them?
No, not yet.
Anybody?
No.
My wife's been in a higher nutrition place. Pretty cool.
Yes, I have. I go to Maze quite often.
Which one?
Maze.
Oh, it is a little bit different. Not seeing Skip and Kenny down there.
I know. I miss my second husband.
Wow, okay.
You bought it?
You know what? I've met the gentleman, but I cannot remember the name. I hate to say that.
Kept the same name.
They did.
I did.
They did. I think since it was such a staple around here, they just kept the name. I don't think there was any issue or any talk of change, if I remember right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Public Works Director Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You got my monthly report. A couple of highlights is we repaired a catch basin on Cool and Vasho. X2 water shutoffs. Repaired a 6-inch water valve at Page Marie Drive. Pothole patching continuously. We had 2 sewer calls that are on private, and we flushed the culverts and cleaned out the pipes on 47. We're training new staff.
Finally got some people, huh?
Yes. It's working out good.
I mean, we haven't seen your jubilant face in here for a while, so.
One meeting.
Seen what?
You can YouTube it.
Yeah, I know, but it just takes forever, I'm used to seeing you every meeting. And I'm not used to you not asking for anything.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised we had, he wasn't looking for
shocked.
money. Shocked he wasn't
Pardon me
looking
if
for
it
money.
takes me back a little bit, guy.
That's all I have. If you have any questions.
No, thanks, guy. You guys have been doing a good
Thank
job.
you, Guy.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
Moved.
Second.
Schultz, second by Alderman Crump. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned. Thanks for joining us, folks.